due to the
I'm hailing.
It's
region.
beginning.
I'm traveling.
Oh,
It's beginning.
what up?
Greetings
Hola.
and salutations. It's your boy, Skinny Penis, brought to you by Milton Bradley, a family company. Welcome to the Wasting Way,
Wait.
episode Tenerinos.
Wow.
I'm at
What do we got
98%.
here?
Almost at full power.
Okay, so let's get fucking swole, shall we?
Oh, we're getting those points,
Yeah.
buddy.
Oh, this is the story of a girl who got river dry to work.
Taco Bell,
I
Taco
thought
Bell.
this was
And
the
churrito,
story
macho
of-
burrito.
A Spaniard. We all know of the power of the R.
Grr,
All right,
grr.
well, let's
Really?
get straight into it. Who remembers what happened last time? Bonus points.
We leveled up.
Okay.
Ooh.
I remember level 4. Remember that.
It's peanut butter jelly
Oh,
time.
no,
was gonna
you remember
say-
level 4? You remember?
I was
You remember
gonna say, I
leveling to
remember
4?
saving
bro?
Jimmy
I don't
4
know.
scrolls.
This level 4?
He has a
This
4
level
in
that
his
you
name.
like?
Is this where you tell us we didn't actually get it?
No, you're level 4. No.
So, sorry, voice is terrible.
Ah, yes.
Jimmy, 4 scrolls is like probably the only survivor, and then a jester is like the leader of the bad guys or something.
Mm-hmm. Of the ones that.
Yes.
Yes. Some kind of cannibal jester.
Yeah.
Fool.
He calls himself the Fool.
The fool.
As well as we were in the Underdark, we met up with a nice little mushroom man who was with a body of apparently a high-ranking Taladoni, who knew of Wimble's master and knew he was a good guy. As well as we found out that what we found was the cache of weapons underneath the Wasting Way.
The underworld is basically just the south.
The deep south.
The deep south.
Now, there's also one other very important thing that you have, and that is the orb. The sphere.
Yes.
It has been opened.
Like an orange.
Did we leave off with you
Like a
undoing the
fortune
seal?
cookie.
Or did we do that?
We left off with you, me opening it, turned it into 4 pieces, and then that was it.
Ah,
And then we left
in that case, we'll get restarted. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so, as you have opened the sphere and it has separated into its 4 basic pieces, I have good news and even better news. Which would you like to hear first?
Oh.
The
Let's
better
go
part.
with the best.
The good
Okay,
news.
the best part then.
Oh, the best part?
Yes.
The best part is you get to teleport.
Oh.
Sick.
Okay.
The good news is you get to build a spire.
Oh. Okay.
All right, keep it coming.
So, kind of go with this out of character. The four pieces of the sphere represents the 4 steps in which to create a spire. As Wimble is technically the inheritor of his master's title, he is able to unlock the seal on the sphere and actually allow it to activate the ancient machinery that exists within Conflux to assist with the building of the spire. So, essentially, you get to choose where you want to build your spire. This is very important because not only will it designate a new area of influence and power and stasis, but it will also designate where basically all the storylines that'll take place from here on in. The teleportation bit allows you to teleport to any one of these regions into a premium spot that has been relegated to the orb. You understand what I've said so far?
Yes.
So the spot's like a spot or location that's been saved in the orb knows of it.
Correct.
Okay.
Each of these also come with a divination revealing the area, so I can tell you about them. And the divination is current as of when Wimble activated it. So, you'll know exactly what the snapshot is before you go there.
Okay.
Art thou prepared?
I believe so.
My body is ready.
All right, because the first thing you have to choose is the teleportation sequence, because we can't really do anything else before that.
Oh, were we going to check for the blacksmith?
What?
Basically, we talked about whether or not we would try to resurrect the blacksmith if she was here with an apple.
Find a body
Oh,
that wasn't completely destroyed.
the blacksmith is not here.
Ah,
All right.
sadness.
Oh,
Seems
that's-
all of his friends were
Solves that problem.
Technically, the blacksmith isn't anywhere.
Oh. Oh no.
She no
Maybe
quit.
the real blacksmith is a friends we made along the way.
Well, you know, they are cannibals, so.
I'm sorry,
Oh.
Shimi. All of your friends are gone.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Okay.
forget about that? That whole thing
Well,
where they're cannibals and
we had-
they eat
We had
people?
hoped that there were more bodies here.
There are, but
We
the blacksmith
calculated,
isn't one
but
of them.
The math was horrible.
One moment.
Oh, the misery.
I'm loading, I'm loading, I'm loading, I'm loading, I'm loading.
He's loading all the things that we get to look upon.
Loading, loading, loading just for you. Hey, I'm made of cheese. I'm made of cheese. Okay. So, your options are. Oh, actually, I'm going to make a separate place for this so I don't confuse myself. In the. Oh, the misery.
Why does everybody gotta be my enemy?
Teleportation. Selection.
Red rock, Reggie.
All right, Billy, let's lift out those choices.
Alright.
Let's see it.
Going to notes. Preparing.
Ass,
Oh, yeah.
consuming. All right, and clickbait. Okay. So. Oh man. Ow, 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 my leg. So, the following are the
Location
regions. The regions that you can choose from. When you select a region, well, first what I'm going to do, just to make this easier, I'm going to give a brief description of what each region is, and if it's something that garners your interest, you can ask for more information, and then I can give you the locations that each one has available. You'll probably go through all of them, but that's just the way for me to do this easier.
Okay.
Ugh.
Got it.
Okay. Let me turn this down a little bit. That's a little too much.
Snorlax. Snore.
Alright.
What the fuck?
Sing it over me. What do we got?
Snorlax, you snore.
Snore.
So tired.
Snorlax.
Bitches.
I'll admit, until recently I found out that Snorlax and Lorax were different creatures.
Bruh.
I did not go through that childhood.
Oh, the misery.
That must have been rough.
Yeah, it was rough. I was imagining this like huge blow up creature trying to save trees, you know?
Snorlax.
Okay, so first up we have is the Ardent. Is a choosable place. The Ardent is the westernmost region of Conflux, and it contains heavy minerals that are easily, well, not easily, but heavy minerals that are meant to be mined and used for crafting and construction. It is a pretty heavy construction hub, and it is covered in riverlands. It is covered in riverlands, producing lots of automation through those rivers.
Next.
The Ashen Wastes is also an available selection. The Ashen Wastes is filled. The Ashen Waste is a wasteland that is filled with volcanic ash and exposure. However, that being said, the area is also rich in mana, as the volcanic eruptions that produce the ash are actually the engines of the ship slowly turning off.
Nice.
So it is rich in mana.
We might be pretty well on with the locals as well, since we, helped them out.
True that.
Yeah,
Boogers.
Connie.
Bro,
Where's
we can
Koniwa?
find- we can
Koniwa
find
check.
Con-
Hey yo.
Alright, next is the Verdant. The Verdant is a luscious jungle, teeming with life, and filled with all sorts of primitive tribes and other pseudo-civilizations that have been built up in the meantime. It should be noted that this functioned as a terrarium for the ship and has gone completely out of control. Warning, megafauna present.
Oh shit.
There are the Myconids. Remember, they're here.
True, man.
Okay.
Also Zerg.
You get the good with the bad, all right?
Okay. Next. Then, the next region is the Azure.
Uh-huh.
This beautiful place has luscious fields and a heavy coastal presence, allowing for easy trade, and has suffered the least in terms of the stasis. 4 great city-states hold a requiem of power over one another, and several factions are vying for control in this pseudo-political atmosphere created in the absence of the Taladoni.
Okay.
So this place has active cities.
Yep.
4 of them.
Boogers.
Bum.
Do.
Look at that trade opportunities with normal people.
EU people.
Delicious.
Ow. Ow.
Delicious.
Okay. And next we have is the Aurelian. The Aurelian is a vast field filled with plenty. Plenty of crops are plantable here, and it is considered to be the place where food was meant to be grown on the ship. However, this has been malformed, as a terrible curse has befallen the Aurelian. As such, this curse produces many unique opportunities in which to interact with the more insidious forces of the Taladoni. The people living there live under the grasp of these dark titans.
Okay. Evil path. All right.
The evil Taladoni, well. Alright. So, is that everything, or
Nope,
is there more?
There's more.
Oh, never mind.
Next is the Ochre. The Ochre is a desert region of Conflux that is filled with all sorts of trade venues, bazaars, and probably has, ironically, the most population concentrated into one area.
Is ochre O-C-R?
O-C-H-E-R, yep.
O-C-H.
Boogers.
Alright, next. The Aperture. The mountainous region in the center of Conflux that is mysterious and nearly inaccessible. It is rumored that the administrative powers exist at the top of its peaks.
And we can just place ourselves here?
I said it was an available region. If you want to know more, you can select it.
Do we want to delve in this one a little bit?
There's more.
Start to play.
There's more.
First, hear all.
Yeah, I'm not
the
done yet.
answers.
I'll tell you when I'm done. How about that?
All right.
Cool.
And the last one is the spheres. The great spheres that regulate the conventional energies of Conflux circle around it in an enormous ring in different places and points. Okay, now I'm done.
Okay. So you had said that to know more, we have to select it. Like that's all the information we get for now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading through Legends notes.
Yeah.
Does logging in lock it in?
No.
All right. I mean, I'm pretty curious about the aperture. Anyone else want to hear more?
Yeah, I'm curious about the government actually.
So you're interested in the aperture or the azure?
I'm interested in both, but I think in terms of finding out more stuff, aperture is more like unknown to me, so I kind of want to learn more about it.
So be it. Would you like to know more?
Yes.
I wrote aperture.
Aperture. Yeah.
We will learn more of the aperture then. Start there.
Oh.
All right, the aperture only has one available place for the spire, and that is the Shadow of Kasil. Kasil is one of the many ruling mountains, which is actually an archive of knowledge, energy, and other storage facilities. Specifically, the available slot for the Spire is available because the old one disappeared, and it is not regulated as to how and why. If this Spire is placed, your party will be subjected to the perils of the mountain and will have to tame them in order to maintain the Spire. It should also be noted that this will be higher level content.
Would we level to that?
No.
Not get carried away.
It took us 4 bosses to get 1 level, so I think it's a bad idea to go there.
Well, as long as we keep on the track, we'll we'll level up a bit quicker.
There we go. Okay. So, what would you like to learn about next?
The Azure.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go with the Azure.
Yes.
The Azure.
The Azure. So there are 4 slots available for the Azure, and that is which of the main city-states that you wish to build the Spire next to. Whichever one that you build the Spire next to depends on what main faction that you'll have to deal with the most. Those main factions are the following mercenary groups: the Grey Guard, the Sons of Saul, or the Servants of Saul, the Doom Eaters, and the Anointed.
And if we want to learn more, we have to select one of them.
Yeah, you have to actually select those if you want to know more.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell us about the Ashen Waste?
Oh, yeah, hold on.
I've regulated myself to note taking at the moment.
Appreciate.
Oh, I'm banging out a bunch of notes too.
Yeah, I'll be moving
So
a lot.
you in the actual notebook?
No, I do everything in like a notepad.
I'll be moving a lot of this stuff over later on to notes.
I'm just doing it in like the notes channel to keep it fast.
Okay, so the Ashen has one available spot, and that is in the Black Falls. The The Black Falls is a heavy, sludge, oil-like waterfall, which is spewing out of a tear in the hull of Conflux. This black sludge is toxic to most living life, but is teeming with mana. If properly regulated and produced, which is what the Spire will concentrate on doing, this oil may be produced to create engines of magical wonder. However, you will have to deal with the mutations that the oil has caused.
Ooh.
All right. How about the Ardents? What's going on over there?
The Ardent has an emergency beacon has been summoned. Heavy demonic activity has been detected within the Ardent and is requiring any available Paragon Taladoni to erect a spire to immediately deal with the demonic threat. This is the demon slaying spire.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we're learning about each of these as we're reading all of this.
Yep.
Theo's gonna look very disturbed by that.
We sort of already knew that.
Did we know about the demons?
Now from the crossover.
A little bit, yeah.
They did warn us.
I didn't learn much. But that has Theo's attention. Tell me more about these demon slaying spire thing.
Alright, so what are we missing? I guess we should go through all. No?
You
What's,
might as
I
well.
want to know about the burden.
Yeah, the Verdant.
Oh boy! The Verdant has two options. The first is the Spire will take the place of the old administrative building that once ran the Laboratories of Fauna Extraction. For an easy reference, this will be the Dinosaur Labs.
Oh,
Boogers.
Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Yes. Welcome to Jurassic Park. Da 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 da. Holy shit! What the fuck? Holy shit! Yes.
That's a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, the Dinosaur Labs, which is not its official name, it's just the easy way for me to reference it, is essentially a spire that is dedicated to the experimentation and extraction of these megafauna. This spire will be dedicated towards that, and will have all sorts of things for you to explore. Killing powerful creatures, extracting their biomass, making more powerful creatures that will serve the Taladoni, and even direct physical experimentation on yourselves will be available.
Yes! Fib can become a bird.
Yes, finally.
Fucking pterodactyl, bro.
I have evolved beyond the confines of mammals.
Can become a dragon.
Holy fucking shit, it's a dinosaur.
Imagine Raul as a T-Rex.
With
Small
a pet
arms.
chicken.
look at those little tiny baby arms.
Okay,
Tiny baby arms.
little tiny baby arms. The other one is
Big head.
an emergency contact. An emergency spire is to be erected around an unknown object that has fallen from the astral sea, striking the Conflux as it was landing on Verum. This large meteorite has an unknown mana signature, and nothing is known about it.
Aliens. We had
Emergency.
Jurassic
Emergency.
Park, and we
High
had
alert.
aliens versus predators.
Boogers. Aliens.
Yeah, that place is wild.
That sounds
I don't
cool.
know if I want to go there.
And deadly.
That sounds cool.
He's like, whoa, this shit's kind of wild, bro.
It's kind of wild. In the wild.
Alright. Are we missing any ochre? We're missing ochre.
Missing Aurelian.
And Aurelian as well.
Yep.
And the spheres.
All right. What's next?
Aurelian.
Yeah, let's go with Aurelian.
One moment, I'm organizing my notes. Organizing my notes.
Preparing to take notes.
So you want to know about the Aurelian?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh God, forgot about this one.
Oh,
Is it somehow worse
Monka,
than
this.
the Dino Lab? in the
How can you forget?
Dinosaurs, poggers.
Okay. So, man. So the golden, or excuse me, the Aurelian gives you the option to build a Spire of Justice, in which you are tasked with bringing the chaotic Aurelian fields back under the lawful order of the Taladoni. This includes, but is not limited to, an inquisition of apostate mages.
My God.
Yeah, Justice. That sounds like something we do.
yeah, very much towards what we would as a party.
Yes, surely we're a set of inquisitors.
It's in line with our theme, right?
Bringing justice to everyone. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually,
yes,
No
this-
one
actually,
expects it.
sort of. Actually, sort of. If you think about it, we did kill Dargoth.
Chaos is justice.
Yeah, but we
Not
only
the
did
right
that
people.
because somebody was cursed. Let's be real.
Yeah, no.
I just did for Rry-on.
That was pure burning vengeance. That was not justice.
He was a tax collector.
I will make that clear. Theo had
But
burning
isn't
vengeance.
Rry-on a tax collector too? She said that in
It's-
episode 1.
His working conditions.
I'm a tax collector. Stabs.
These working
guess what-
conditions are just absolutely terrible, bro.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming we're just gonna forget we saw that one and look at the Orker now.
Well, the ochre is warning, warning, Spire forbidden, Spire forbidden, but you can choose to override.
That's
Does it
all.
cost anything for that round?
Monka.
You
Are
have,
we able to
you
get
have to
more-
choose it.
Oh, you have to
Oh.
choose it.
Okay, so we get nothing unless we pick it.
Mm-hmm.
The wild
Random.
card.
Mysterious.
Nice.
What could,
The Joker. Why so sussy?
why so sussy?
Okay.
I'm a
so
bit of a memer.
Last but not least is the spheres.
All right, and the last one, which is the spheres, is an emergency spire has been called out. The spheres are under attack. A recent explosion in the spheres of the Scions has caused a catastrophic chain event. The eyeless ones are pouring directly into the spheres, threatening the remainder of Conflux. This will be the eyeless one slaying the sphere.
Ew, no eyes.
All right.
So
The
okay,
spheres?
so that one affects all of Conflux.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like all of them do.
It should be warned that this is higher level content.
Okay. Explain higher level content to me.
Higher level content means you're not leveled to it.
Oh.
It means I'll punch you in the face.
Oh.
That doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means it's higher level than you.
But in a reasonable way. Not like, you know,
Sure.
not like press this button. you're dead.
So let's see. As far as specific information, I think we're only missing is the guards or the different mercenary groups. I mean, but is there anything?
I listed them out.
Islands
Yeah.
as well.
There.
Yeah, they're. I mean, he just gave us the names of them, but.
Greyguard sent us all their leaders and anointed.
I can tell you
Okay.
more about the mercenary groups if you'd like.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's getting more information.
So the Grey Guard is a mercenary group. Their whole focus is they believe that money is king, and whoever is right is whoever paid them the most to make them right. They are the most versatile of the mercenary companies listed, as they are able to adapt themselves to a myriad of combat situations. But they are also the most bureaucratic, making them quite slow to marshal their forces. Next is the Anointed. The Anointed follow the clarion call of good and morality. They are even trying to develop a sort of spiritualism and are the mortal enemies of any sort of demons, daemons, or devils. They have committed themselves to trying to restore light to Conflux. The Doom Eaters don't give a fuck about anything except how much fun the mission might be. They'll fight for any cause and for any amount of food, money, it doesn't matter. As long as the Doom Eater has a good time, then it is considered a success.
Let's do that one.
They are also pirates.
Ooh,
Muggers!
And then the Servants of Saul, are in a desert region within the Azure, which is very coastal, although the desert is unnatural. The Servants of Saul serve the King Saul directly, and his purposes and agenda are unknown, but many believe him and his servants to be the most powerful player in the politics of the Azure.
Is there anyone that called any selection that called anyone? Personally, I kind of like the mysterious meteorite.
Okay, are we...
There's your
How about-
information, so now you guys can talk about it.
Alright. So I feel like the first thing we should choose is like our favorite areas and then write off the ones we didn't like.
Yeah. Let's whittle down the list.
Let's whittle down the list. Start
Well-
with Ardent, Ashen, Verdant, Azure, all that stuff.
Alright, well, which
I-
regions did you not like, I guess?
I don't like the forbidden button. It scares me.
It's scary.
I don't
You
like
don't-
high level ones, like the spheres and the aperture. I would like discard both.
Yeah, I won't argue. If you don't feel like it, then I won't argue with it.
I don't like the forbidden button, bro.
I like the aperture
Okay.
bit.
I'm tempted with Forbidden
out of-
Knowledge.
Out of character, I think the best option would be to like fix everything that we have made like done here in the Arden. Like just like
Ardent.
try to help the Arden because it's been so punished by bad decisions from like all the groups.
In character, Ardent and Ashen are like the main ones.
In character, my character doesn't really care much about the Ardents.
Okay.
But like, what's really interested about like the Ashen Wastes and the Verdant.
Let's start with the spheres. Does anyone want to go to the high level spheres to fix the continent? And
I think
fight
the
Hydras?
easiest thing
No.
for you guys to do is to do this. Everybody go to Discord, go to your, general chat, go to your message, and type out your top 3 choices of region, but don't actually hit enter yet until I say so.
Top 3 regions.
Yep.
Got it.
Got it.
Let me know
Top
when you're
3,
done
okay.
typing.
I need
All
a
right.
moment.
Same. I'm gonna look
Take
this
your
up.
time.
Yes.
Multiple people are tapping.
What? So many.
My goodness.
Top 3. Yeah. Like that. Like that.
Ah, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay.
I kinda like that.
Ah, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Like it
Check.
like that.
I like it like that.
Do.
Alright, I'm ready.
Wait, give me a second.
We'll just wait for the our
I need a-
typing thing to go away.
I need a third option. It's like,
I like it like that.
Baby, I like it like that.
Do I want them, or do I want them?
Or these.
But forbidden knowledge of
Bruh.
I'm sorry. When you put the word forbidden on something, there's something that stirs inside of Legend's little psyche that's like, I know what you're tempting me with, Arcadum. I know. I'm not gonna touch it, but I want to touch it. I want to touch it real bad. Forbidden knowledge.
Do not hit the red button.
The red button. It's there. I'm not gonna push it. I'm gonna stare at it. I'm gonna
Do
stare
not
at it
hit the
very
red
intently.
candy-like button.
I'm gonna stare at it with intent. Guess I have to go with that. Okay. I have 3 choices.
I have 3 choices.
Same.
You there, kid? You're
Does
still.
Does Kid have 3 choices?
I have 3 choices.
Okay.
Okay. Does Fernando have?
Does anybody not have?
Yes, yes.
Anybody need more time?
Since we're still typing.
I'm
Think
ready.
we're all set?
We good?
Going once, twice, go.
Enter.
Alright, now we go through here and we choose whichever one is the higher, gets the most votes.
Kit Kat, can you read or count?
Sorry, I'm struggling. Hold on, wait.
3.
Yeah, I had another one.
It's the number that
Another
comes
one.
after 2.
No, okay.
No,
Ashen, Azure, and Oak. Okay. Alright.
So it looks like we have Arden on there 1, 2, 3 times.
Okay.
We have Ashen on there 1, 2, 3 times.
Okay.
We've got the Azure on there 1, 2,
It's like the American Idol counting.
3 times.
Oh my goodness.
This was a good idea.
No, there's 4 Ashen.
There's 4 Ashen? Hold on.
Is there?
Oh, you said waste, not Ashen. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, my bad.
So, Ashen's first. Second appears to be Ardent. Third appears to be Azure.
Okay. So.
Hold on, let me look. Did Ochre get on there enough? Ochre got 2.
We got 2.
No. Aperture got on there twice. Aurelian got on there once. Okay, looks like those are your 3.
Alright. So. Edit, removing Ochre. Here we go.
So, let's go ahead and type that out. Your choices now are between Ardent, Ashen, and Azure.
Ardent, Ashen, and Azure. What do we have?
Okay, so now that we've went through the first round of votes, talk about what it is that you like about those regions, and then once we've let people say their piece, then we'll vote between those 3 on the one that you want.
Okay. Who has the floor?
Uh,
Hand them the walking stick.
Azure is pretty straightforward for Fib.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm, makes sense.
I think I kind of really like the Ashen Waste just because we got a lot done. The area is going to be very kind to us because we got rid of the Tyrant.
That is very true.
And chances are we're going to get, a lot of help locally.
Go ship.
Yes, Ghost Ship is found locally. As well as the fact that we can make creations out of all the mana and stuff, and that sounds pretty good. Sorry, I know my voice is killing, but try my hardest.
It's fine, dude.
Agreed with all the points.
I'm
I
fine
like
with
that.
any of the three.
I'm sorry that Theo
Okay.
had
Mutate.
mutations.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta clear 'em out.
Mutation.
Yeah, we gotta
No,
clear them out.
I could be from the mutation.
Boogers.
Yes, drink the toxic waste. Become super.
Bathe in toxic waste.
Become
Would be something Rry-on would do.
I'm just saying.
We killed someone in order to make sure you weren't gonna die of super leprosy.
So out of those, what was the ranking? I think it was like Ashen and Ardent.
Yeah.
Ashen.
Well, in terms of votes, it was Ashen and then Arden and Azure were tied. So now that everybody's had a moment to talk, now everybody do the same thing. Go to the message board, type out the place you want to go, and then when everybody has their selection, we'll hit enter, and that will be the one.
If I may, Theo likes the Ardent because A, we were meant to do a lot here, and B, he has a big thing against demons from his past.
I didn't put down Ashen on mine, but
Nope.
sounds not bad actually.
Yeah, wondrous creations out of mana.
Alright, so we're voting 1, 2, 3 on these. Let's take a look.
So now are we just picking one, or are we doing one again?
I would just pick one.
Yeah, that would be easiest.
One,
You just pick one.
Oh. Yeah, pick
I
one.
can only pick one.
You can only pick one.
I'm ready.
Alright, I have mine.
Okay, I'm ready.
Just to check, in character, Fib has flashbacks of her past, but she doesn't know it's called Azure, right?
I would say you'd be able to put 2 and 2 together.
Okay. Just trying to figure out her in-character motivations.
Oh, my in-character motivation is demon, kill on sight, kill on sight. Doom music kicks into the background.
All right.
Could be told.
Has everyone typed in?
Yep.
Is anyone still deciding?
I'm still deciding.
Okay, Fernando.
Think about all the mutant beasts we could kill. And
Yeah.
Jimmy Four Scrolls, do you have a vote in this?
I want
All
to
the
not
options
die.
are so good.
Yeah, what's his vote? That'll
I
help
want to
us
not
out a
be
lot.
eaten.
Alright, so his
Jimmy
vote
just
is
wants
like,
to not die.
So, like, the Ash, because that was the safest place.
I mean, it's full of mercenaries, so safe in quotation marks.
I mean, would you rather deal with mercenaries or toxic sludge and demons?
This is 4 cities worth of mercenaries. So we piss one off, we have an entire city coming at our door.
I don't want to deal with that. Those guys are crazy. I'd rather.
I like it
All
like
right,
So
that.
I'm ready.
So
We're
after
good?
you have
Alright.
Spire, you can't build another Spire?
You can only build one spire at this time.
Or we can in the future build more.
If you find another,
Yeah.
if you find another orb, yeah.
Soon,
Oh, we
Find
will.
another hand it to Wimble. Go forth, Wimble.
in time.
All right. 3, 2, 1, enter. Looks
Oh,
like
nice.
Ashen wins.
Mutant experimentation. Nice.
You have chosen the Black Falls. Ooh, Lord!
Yeah,
So
buddy.
it's-
Oh,
We're coming back for you.
God.
Man, I should have put Azure.
We will
Make
rule
it
the
a-
wastelands.
Ooh, yeah.
Make it a 3. Why do you want to make it a 3-way tie?
I like Chaos.
I almost did. I almost voted
I
Ardent.
played Jenga
Three-way
today,
tie are great.
It was all those magical creations, wasn't it? That tempted
Yes.
you.
Yes.
So, we are building glorious.
Oh, this
glorious
is the
magical
story of my
engines.
ass.
Nice.
Hey, I noticed you making that bold in the notes over there in the Arden. I see you. I see
No, I
you.
was in the middle of actually bolding the 3 that we were writing on.
You're-
There's actually 2 stars in front of Ashen I didn't complete. And so it only made the 1 bold.
And the subconscious suggestion folding.
I know, right?
I see what you did.
There's that. Boom.
Alright, we'll just clear it all up so I can take notes on it later.
Okay. First selection has been made. The Black Falls.
Hooray.
I remember this place. Where is Koniva?
Where is Koniva?
Yeah, this is where we met her, isn't it?
Koniva!
Little did we know that this magical pool of water is where we're going to build a tower.
Little did we know that this pool of water was Koniva.
She will see the tower and she will come.
They will all see our tower.
Okay, I have to. If you build
Oh yeah,
they
here
will
we
come.
go. Here we go. Oh yeah, here we go. In a bed down the do stop. Skibbity bop. Bam. Bam bam bam. Sorry. I'm very excited. Alright, the first shard of the sphere has been locked into place. And as such, you are now teleported just over the Ashen Veil, and below you, you can see, or the Ashen Wastes, excuse me, and just below you, you can see the Black Falls. What you see is a small valley with an enormous waterfall of oil just going into a gunky sort of pool at the bottom that then kind of careens off like a river and then falls deeper into the ship. So deeper underground. But despite that, there is a nice area that actually is clear of most ash, where the volcanic soil has grown lush. And there, upon a shale rock, you shall build your castle. So, I've got some fun things to tell you. As Wimble has inherited the permissions of his master, you get to use, instead of essences, mana to build your spire.
Ooh.
The difference being is that you have a lot of options to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
So first things first, you are going to start with, let's see, how much is it? 500 mana points.
Alright, I'm making notes. Fast and Furious. Here we go, boy.
That's a lot of mana.
So you have 500 mana points. Please keep in mind that mana points are unique in the building process because they instantaneously build and create the facility or perhaps even the situation that you want. It's very powerful magic. It should be noted, however, that just because something is built does not mean it can be maintained. So please keep that in mind. You guys with me so far?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, mana only builds, it doesn't maintain. I will say that one more time.
Question: would this be the same mana we would be producing here?
Yes. That's the idea. Although this particular mana is very pure, as it is stored within the sphere, so I would not make that designation of 1-for-1 value. But,
Gotcha.
all things considered, maxed out, appropriate, perfect, and without any problems, you could make pure mana. Yes. But, anyway, getting ahead of yourself.
Boogers.
You're getting very far ahead of yourself. So, first we're going to start with your free facilities. First free facility is the Inner Spire. The Inner Spire is the barracks and is basically your home. It should be clear you have enough space in a basic Inner Spire for 10 corporeal servants. Those servants can be anything you want, but there is space for 10 corporeal servants, which means creatures that need to eat and sleep. You can have all kinds of magical servants depending on what it is that you want.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me list
There
these
you go,
under
Jimmy.
free. Let me list these under free.
Can we count Jimmy in as one of the 10?
Yes.
Fuckers.
Okay, so next you
Alright.
have is a stasis field, which is something that you start for free. It protects your homestead from flux storms. So the Spire is protected from flux storms.
Nice.
And finally, the next free facility is a refinery.
Makes sense.
The finery specifically allows you to dilute mana from the sludge. Right now, the efficiency is at 1, and the purity is at 1.
Are we able to understand the scale on that, or not? Not yet.
The scale of purity for the Black Falls refinery is 1 to 10. The mana you're using right now is 10.
So the refinery.
What's the scale? And is the efficiency the same stuff?
1 to 10. Yep. So a maxed out refinery would have 10 efficiency and 10 purity. And you'd just be cranking it, soldier boy. Tell him. Soldier boy, tell him. That want me you. Sorry. I went out to a dance club a couple nights ago, and that song is the only song I knew. Because I'm old.
I know that feeling.
Did you dance to it?
Of course I did, and I Supermaned that.
You Superman that
Fuckers.
that farm tool.
that yes, classy woman that you found.
I Superman. God. All right. Anyway.
Right. I don't know how it's looking so far, everybody.
Okay, and those are your free facilities. So,
Okay.
things are going to get kind of crazy because this is a very open-ended menu for you. There are things that you can request, things that you can do. There is a lot of versatility, but it will all cost you mana. So, I can give you some suggestions if you'd like to kind of get you started.
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
So first things first, you could get an oratory, which would allow you to create spells. If you're into that kind of thing. You can get a soul forge, which will allow you to create and manipulate essences.
Some spoilers.
Oh, and create magic items.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There's oratory, soul forge. Oh, soul font, which is a source
There it
of
is.
life energy. It can also be used as a resurrection point. Let's see. You can get military barracks in case you want a standing force. Let's see. A vault for corporeal wealth.
have a question
Yeah.
about the corporeal servants.
Yeah.
Those people we need to recruit, or we can be like, do like XYZ position to be filled. And they're like there.
You can choose to have choose to have up to one of them go with you as an ally in terms of like actual group dynamics, or you can send them out on quests or whatever
No,
you
I
want.
mean like, because right now we have Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
1 of 10. The other 9, do we need to go out and find people? Or...
So I'm gonna get to that. There's a different stage because one of the things that you're going to get to do is you can recruit people for that by going to court, by having court, which is not like legal court, but like King's Court and stuff like that.
Okay.
So you can actually send out a call. That's like a diplomacy role to meet people and stuff like that. That comes later, but yes, you can. You can do that.
I wasn't sure. Maybe we could control them just everywhere doing it.
I mean, I suppose you could also just directly go to people and ask them as well. But in terms of statesmanship, they come to you when you have a place like this.
Goes, finds Conova. Hey, we got a
Yeah, you want to join? I would like to find like Rry-on's master, if like he can come and like help. That would be really cool. Like
For Ragdar's rebellion?
What? No.
Oh no. Rry-on's master, your master, your blacksmith master.
The plague guy.
Yes, the old man.
But yeah, that guy might be up at Verum.
So are we just other campaigns? I mean, like we drive. I don't know.
Just steal other people's characters. Yeah, let's go.
Recruit people?
All right, let's see. Some other suggestions I have are stables, so you could get vehicles.
Yes, stables.
Causeway, which you can actually have a causeway road built from the main causeway connected to your spire, which will essentially open the random event table for travelers, which can have good or bad things, happen. And then a final suggestion is probably like, I guess that's true. If you really want to get wild, you can build a town hall, which will allow a town to be built around the spire.
That's really cool.
That actually is
great.
Yeah, we could pull in all the guys from the village and just have people just start curing them. Yeah, we cure them all.
All right, so like I said, these are just suggestions. You don't have to do any of them. There's a lot of stuff. You just kind of have to come up with it on your own.
Yeah, we're speculating.
Okay, then?
Yes, Kit?
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Do we get to know how much mana each of these cost before we...
Oh, yes, I can give you the cost. Sorry, I knew I forgot something. So the cost of the oratory is 50 mana. The cost of the Soul Forge is 75 mana. The cost of the Soul Font is 50 mana. The cost of the Military Barracks is 10 mana. The cost of the Vault is 10 mana per tier, and it's up to tier 5. The stables have a mana cost of 10 per tier, up to a max of 5. The Causeway has a mana cost of 10. And the Town Hall with Foundation has a mana cost of 50.
So in the beginning you said that mana only builds, it doesn't maintain. Do these have specific maintenance
costs? They do have
maintenance
maintenance costs. And so the Oratory does not have a maintenance cost, but it will of course have the cost of spell creation and stuff like that. The Oratory is just a facility that allows you to do that. The Soul Forge, same thing, does not have a maintenance cost, but you will need to provide the materials to actually create essences, manipulate them, and to create magic items. Mana being one of those costs. The Soul Font does not have a upkeep. The Military Barracks has an upkeep cost of 50 dust, depending on what tier it is. The Military Barracks has a starter tier of only 10, but its upgrades are different building structures and different army sizes, so it has just higher costs in general. But just to get the Military Barracks, that's 50 dust a month.
We don't actually know what dust is.
Well, you do now.
Viv has 2 dust currencies.
Yeah,
Oh, you
dust,
do?
dust is the currency, and you'll be able to figure that out. That's the actual currency of Conflux. But that's 50 dust a month in order to maintain the soldiers, keep them fed, pay them, stuff like that. The Vault has no upkeep cost other than any upkeep of magical spells or protections that you put on it in addition to its normal ones. The Stables have an upkeep cost of 30 dust, depending on what tier. Each tier adds about 10 dust onto that cost. The Causeway has an upkeep cost of 5 dust per month. And the Town Hall has an upkeep cost of 100 dust a month.
I wanted to ask. The first thing is there a way to help purify the ash from the air with a structure that could help like everyone like that's traveling? Like an air purifier for the people in the Ashen Wastes?
Yes, but you do not have the mana.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To affect it to the scale that you want to, no. If you want to just affect, like the Spire, yeah, you can afford that.
Yeah, for the town?
Oh, for the town? It depends on how big the town is. But
okay.
we're talking about hundreds of mana to make that happen. So.
Oh, okay.
That's very expensive.
Another question is a greenhouse. How much would a greenhouse cost?
Hold on, please. 1 second. Making sure I've got all the upkeep costs tracked for you. Okay. So, you want to build a greenhouse?
Mm-hmm.
What scale? Small or large? Essentially, a basic greenhouse, or do you want like a terrarium or some other higher form?
I would say a greenhouse that can sustain not only like food for basic eating, but also additional like herbalism type.
Okay, a basic greenhouse?
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure. Sure.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a basic greenhouse has a upfront mana cost of 35, and its upkeep cost in dust is 25 dust per month.
How much would it be for a big one, for like the whole town, and with the terrarium to like worms
terrarium
and all
is the
kind of
next
insects?
Terrarium is the next step, which allows you to grow rare plants and also keep rare animals in order to extract their various
juices,
viscera, juices, whatever you need. So a terrarium can get rather big. It can have lots of stuff added to it, but its base mana cost is 70.
Oh, okay.
Would we be able to upgrade here with the
like the basic greenhouse to the terrarium?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that later if you have the mana.
Okay. All right.
And you pay the difference, so.
Jimmy's a blacksmith, right? Or is he not?
No, that was
a
the
spell person.
Yeah, he's a spell guy.
How much would a blacksmith do? Or sorry, question before that.
Yeah.
You said that the Spire already has room for like 10 servants. Let's say that's just like where they sleep and or live.
That's where they sleep and live, yes.
So that's not like, let's say we get like a, I don't know, like a chef. that would just be where they live and sleep. They wouldn't have like.
Yes, but I mean, the Spire does come with a basic kitchen. I think a good example is if you got a blacksmith and hired them and put them in there. If they don't have a smithy, then they can't really do their trade. So.
Would we be able to withhold some of our Spire making decisions until after we come?
Yeah, you don't have to spend it all right now.
Okay.
I just like the great thing about mana is that it's instantaneous use. Like, you don't have to use it in a certain order or anything like that. You just use it when you want to. So by all means, you could just craft this, and then we can go through some recruitment if you want. I don't have the map ready, obviously. But,
yeah.
But it's whatever order and however you wish to do it. It's up to you.
Okay.
So I think it's time for the big question. Could we plant an apple and make a tree?
In the greenhouse.
Okay, so if you wish to make a soul orchard, which is what you're asking,
all right,
that has an upfront mana cost of 275.
Oh,
dear Lord! Start buying lottery tickets.
A soul orchard.
Do we understand the benefits of it?
The soul orchard allows the spawning of shining trees, which will create the apples that you have eaten. But they also produce other fruit, which other miraculous properties, which is it's randomized though.
It's devil fruit from One Piece. Sorry.
Does it have
I had a couple questions. So
one moment, grabbing chicken tendies. You're back.
Of course.
I have a question for the rest of you guys.
Yeah.
So he was talking about how we can harvest mana, but it wouldn't be as pure as the mana we're using to build stuff, right?
That was my question.
That was your question?
Yeah, upgrade.
Well, yeah, we have a refinery. My next question was about upgrading it and what is the rate of mana that we get, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
like, if we can?
I have a bunch of passive income questions.
Yeah.
Also,
like city building stuff, if you can maximize your output of fuel.
We want income first, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Income first, yes.
You can build later.
I also had a list of like people or servants, you don't want to call them servants, which I thought might be good. We can like refine it as we see it comes, but I'll just post it in notes and see what you guys think.
Okay.
I don't know how to spell Jimmy though.
Without an E.
Name is
Without an E.
He's on the map.
Arcadum, so I had a question about the refinery.
Yep.
How much does it cost to upgrade the efficiency and purity, and what actual like effect does that have? So these things, like how much do we get mana per month or something from that, or how does that work?
So right now, sorry.
Enjoy your tendies.
Are they?
Yo, can we build a KFC, by the way?
Bro, of course you can. However, you'll have to prove your worth in combat against the Colonel.
Oh, never mind.
No.
Oh no!
Face me, I have a glorious
mustache.
Funny thing is, somebody actually made him in 5th edition with stats and everything. They made all the fast food places. The Burger King is fucking OP, dude.
Sure.
Anyway. So, the Black Falls refinery, at its current level and rate, produces 5 mana essence, which is not pure mana. But mana essence is essences that can be used for, like, making magic items or anything else that you can use mana. I mean, it's a very basic mana. It's a very basic essence and very basic mana. To increase that,
on a per month.
Yeah, that's per month.
Got it.
You can choose to increase that by spending. If you spend 50 mana, you can increase the efficiency or the purity by 1.
Okay.
And that
And then
cost
how does
that cost remains the same until you get to 5, and then it costs 100.
And how does that change the rate each bump?
If you increase the purity, that increases the different types of mana essence that you can get, and increases its purity level, and gives you a chance of getting rarer essences. Efficiency, for each one that you increase, it increases the amount you get per month by 5.
How do these convert to like the pure mana, like for building?
So anything 5 and below is mana essences. It cannot be converted. It's just too impure. But above 5, you can actually produce mana along with essences. And that mana can be purified further to be pure mana in order to be used in building. And not just in building, but in other effects as well. Like mana pillars, which allow for rampant casting.
And these are one-time costs, not like monthly?
Yes, it's a one-time cost to upgrade the refinery.
So if we dump in 250 mana, we instantly get like mana generation.
I'm down for that.
I'm down for that too.
Yeah, I'm
That
down
sounds
for
wise.
That's what I wanted to ask.
So 250 on just purity.
On just
Refinery or something.
purity was the one that changed it to mana, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we would need 300 actually to go from purity 5 to purity 6, because we would need like 200 to get to purity 5, then 100 to get to purity 6.
What was it? 5 or 6 that it changes to purest mana? I forgot.
Anything 5
6.
or below is mana essence. 6 and
Oh, okay.
above is mana.
So we would need 300. Okay.
Yep, 300. I'm up for that.
I think that's worth.
We
personally.
do
wanna-
lose the soul orchid option.
That's fine. We can always get it later.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
just
like
need to get the
later
ROI
content.
in.
so. Okay. Aside from all of that, I think the first 3 things that we want, the oratory, soul foundry, I think those are like standard, personally.
I want to ask something. It's a little bit curious, but Arcadum, how much would it cost to have just one tree at the top of the tower, like one soul tree, like Elden Ring but smaller version?
275.
No, if it's 1 tree. Sorry.
I know. Eat.
Probably like 10 mana.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. I want that. Like, I really. I'm not sure if you guys are for it, but I really want like a soul tree at the top of the tower. Like,
I'm cool with
right?
that.
Yeah, that's fine. Would that
One
cost
tree
us
for
an
10
apple?
mana?
Yeah.
Oh, I have one other question. So, is there anything that could generate passive income in terms of dust? So, like, if we create a town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we get passive income from the town? Things
Well,
like that.
that depends on who arrives in that town, which you can help manipulate by spending mana or interacting with it directly.
Or playing gacha or hero collecting.
You gotta set up that kind of shit first, right?
So one thing to keep in
Yeah,
mind
we have to do that.
is you got to also build a causeway because you want people to get there and know it's there. So you got to build basically you got to build them together.
All right. So what are we looking at so far? We do 300 for the refining.
Hang on. Give me one thing at a time. So refinery.
10 for
Oh,
the
I
tree.
just stuck it in.
10 for the
I
tree.
have refineries,
10 for the causeway.
I'm making.
Yeah, the
a
causeway
list.
is cheap too, actually. Yeah.
10 for tree. Okay. 10 for causeway.
Bro, we're all in for the money.
I'm
54
concerned about-
Of course.
Okay.
Just give me a list of the names of the things we're looking at.
Okay.
Wholehearted.
Town hall.
Town hall. How much is that?
50.
50. Okay, so 50.
I don't know.
That's it so far.
I don't know if we want a lot of things that require dust per month until we can start generating those. Especially because the town hall requires 100 per month.
Yeah, but
I
I think
don't think we do a town hall yet.
I think it could be it has a big potential to like generate a lot.
Well, no. Here's the thing. It's an insta cost to build it. So what we do is we save the 50 mana and then wait for people to start showing up off the causeway.
Allow me
and
to
build
help
the
you.
town.
Please.
One of the things you can get, especially if you connect a causeway, is a market or a bazaar that you can open. And you could sell the mana essences you produce there for dust.
So we could speak it.
Yeah.
Per day, daily market value. We don't have like a guaranteed minimum or maximum, or like per 1 unit of essence.
Oh, there are some market tides. Sometimes you won't sell any, but yeah. But essentially, what you're saying is correct. It's not direct, but yeah.
I mean, we're instantly jumping it up to quality 6. We won't be generating a lot, but we will be generating quality stuff.
Yeah, so we could probably just sell whatever we need to keep whatever the upkeep is, and then that'll take care of that.
Okay, so let's look a little more. Were we considering? I remember I overheard Oratory, Soulforge, Soulfont.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to sacrifice.
Well,
at least one of those.
I'm making a list of the things we were actively going towards to begin with. Were we looking at all 3 of those? Just some of those?
Well, if we're gonna do the market,
I think we can invest like in those in the future months, like after we like stabilize the income. Then we can like get an oratory, then soul font.
I would invest in the soul font sooner because I don't want us to be dying.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That sounds like the most important. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Soul font. Anything else? Or are we positive?
What do we have now?
I would like to request the greenhouse basic. So
Yeah,
we
me
can
too,
have
me too.
food,
Okay.
so we can live.
35. Basic.
We can also sell plants. Rry-on can sell poisons.
And we're fueling ourselves in the economy, so we don't have to worry about food.
before we talk about selling, we'd have to find out how much a market costs.
We'll get there. Okay.
So right now we're at 410. Right?
I'm looking
Are we
at.
getting a town hall yet? Yes. Okay, town hall.
Well, I'm just looking at this. So now we have.
Wait, where are you typing this?
It's
Oh, I
in
see it.
notes.
Okay, I got it. I got it. I see it.
100, 455 at the moment.
Or 55.
Yeah, I would save anything that's left. I would save it.
I
Well,
mean,
how much
might
is
say put it into generating more essence, not quality of essence, but like more essence.
Do we want? We don't have enough.
We literally can't afford it.
We need another 50.
Oh, we can't afford it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but the good thing is that we can do it next month. Like next month, maybe we get like we can like with quality 6, maybe we can have like 50 more mana and put it in efficiency. Then in 2 months we can like have 100. I don't know. Like I don't know
we
how it
have,
works.
we have 45 remaining. Do we want like a? What about military? Do we want like a basic military to start?
We are in the way.
It's cheap. It's cheap. It's 10 just to start.
Well, let's find out how much a market costs. Like
Oh
how much,
yeah, true.
Yeah.
We need that. That's
25.
Market.
Excellent.
25?
Market 25.
I would like to before the military barracks, maybe to start with, I would put the 45 left mana to try to improve our chances to get like good people to help us with everything.
Well, we have the town who kind of owes us. We could try seeing if we could pull them all in and then have Fib cure them.
Yeah.
So we could
Just
get like a bit of a starter town right there.
If we can use the leftover mana to improve our chances to like get better quality, like I don't know, rolls. I don't know how to say it.
Is that a thing we can
Pulls.
do right now?
Improve the people that we get.
People happy to get people happy.
Oh, you want a way to manipulate the people that you get?
Yeah.
To
with mana.
up the draw rate for SSR.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah,
a 5-star
SSR. I get SSR, triple SR.
We want quality individuals on.
Well, if you want to do that, then you're going to have to hire a diplomat.
How much is a
Okay.
diplomat?
That doesn't cost mana. You have to actually hire them.
Does. Right,
We're gonna
hire-
magic
got
a
it.
diplomat.
You gotta find them, yeah.
Alright, boom. Edit. Technically remove bottom line. There we go.
Oh, technically I lied. There is one diplomatic option that can be bought with mana.
Okay.
Okay. Go on.
For 4,000 mana, you can create an angel.
I'll do it.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Give me your whole stock.
Okay, that's a goal.
Oh, we
Maybe in 3 years.
Oh,
Yeah, in a couple of years. We'll take care of that.
because I owe.
10 campaigns away.
I do owe Egg this question. How much is a founder manufacturing?
Oh, that's true. I forgot.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, is there any Wimble specific stuff that I can suggest? Maybe, yeah.
Mannequin.
Well, if you... Okay, so a golemancery, which is what that's called, starts off at a cost of 150 mana, but doesn't have an inherent upkeep cost.
A bit out of our budget.
And a golemancery
Okay.
is where that you would make founders and mannequins and stuff like that.
Is there a way we can get a loan?
Negative.
4,000.
Loan of $1 million.
We are the bank.
Arcadum is...
Spib, you're no longer a tax collector, you're a bank.
No, well, yes, it's okay.
I think we can hold off on the goals for now.
Arcadum,
And the angel.
how much would it be for a library?
Oh,
Like,
sorry. To clarify that, the angel that you make would be a lesser angel, but it'd still be an angel. Anyway, please continue. What were you saying?
A big library.
An archive has different tiers to it. The basic tier of your archives would be 50 mana.
Ogres.
It should be noted that the archives has 10 tiers, and they increase exponentially as they are able to contain more and more magical knowledge.
Okay. Would the Golemancery work to research into Stone Speaker stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
but an archive would be better.
Yes.
So some facilities can allow you to research minorly into the things that they represent, but only the archives can allow open access to researching things and to the higher tiers of research. I will tell you, having a good archive will be important to the Spire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Maybe not
considering what happened
immediately,
last time.
but yes. One of the things that determines the Spire's power level is the archive. So.
Nice.
Okay.
So
archive.
since it wasn't mentioned, I'm guessing a teleportation nexus is not included.
It's not included, no, but you can build one. Teleportation Nexus, which connects you to the Taladoni teleportation network, costs 1,000 mana.
Okay.
Arcadum?
Mm-hmm.
Can we hire a keeper?
A keeper of the Spire. You can hire a regent that can rule in your stead, but you're going to have to find them.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
We'll get to hiring people.
Or I suppose Wimble could create one if he gathers
Yeah,
the appropriate
that's what I'm thinking.
But that's something that's going to take a long time and materials and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
It would be much easier to just hire one, but you could make one, I suppose.
there was something I thought of. You had mentioned building a spire connected us to... I want to just call it the internet, the Taladoni internet, last week.
Yeah, the nodes.
The nodes.
Mm-hmm.
We have access to that? Is that something we can upgrade?
It's something you have to build.
What does it cost to build that?
A node nexus costs 150 mana. This will provide you access to the shared communication routes of the Taladoni, and also provides a source of digital magic.
Oh man, that's huge.
So I think what we're doing is we're building income, and then we're gonna go from there, right?
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a lot of big purchases that we want eventually.
Now I'm assuming that should we wish to, we could adventure out and then obtain materials to bring back and substitute for mana, or just find mana, right?
Yeah, you can use other things to build for mana. But if you're not using mana to build, then you have to have like labor, you have to have materials, and that has a distinct dust cost, and the dust cost is far more inefficient than the mana cost of it because of that. So something that's only like 50 mana, for example, could be like 2,000 dust.
How much would is there a facility to research into familiars and
the Arcadum.
That kind of entities? Oh, okay, the Arcadum. And how much would it be for an alchemy lab? Like for all kinds of things, like
alchemy
potions,
labs have
poisons.
10 tiers, as it's one of the. Oh, actually, they're just called laboratories, but there's 10 tiers, and it's one of the things that determines the Spire's power level. And the basic lab has a starting cost of 100.
Oh, that's really cool.
All right, so I'm assuming we should probably get market so that we can get covered dust costs.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Are we adding the market?
Yeah, I definitely think that's a good idea because we got dust costs to cover.
Yeah, that's sort of the foundation of everything, right? We need to have the refinery, then that goes to the market, and then whatever we got left over, we can use.
That means that we're bumping it up to 65.
Okay, then how much would it cost to have like a farm with like chicken coops, like all kinds of animals?
All right, so that's going to be a town attachment, and that has to happen naturally through the town hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can influence it by spending mana, by building the farm, but if there's no farmer, then it'll fall into decay.
Yeah.
So I'm basically just saying that happens naturally. If you have like a storm of refugees or some stuff, then you might be able to force it, but that has to happen naturally is what I'm saying.
I mean, we got the greenhouse for the time being.
Yeah.
All right.
Do we want to get military, or do we want to save the 20?
I think we should save the 20.
Save the 20 or go.
I mean, if we're worried about like security, we could just split up and have some people here stationed at the Spire temporarily.
Yeah, but that's what the military barracks would do. I'm assuming that gives them like basic equipment, places to stay. That's
negative.
More secure.
That's just the barracks, their equipment, all that. But you still need people there. Remember that's the upkeep cost.
The upkeep is the people.
Mana does not make people. Mana does not make people.
Yeah, so if we don't have people yet, let's just not make the barracks and just use ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We can make it whenever. Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna make a list for later.
So we locking it in?
I do not know. I'm making the list. Boom, 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 boom.
Okay. The rest of the party.
I'm gonna repeat the list real quick. Upgrading
with
the
this
refinery to level 6. 10 for a tree, 10 for the causeway, 50 for the town hall, 50 for soul font, 35 for greenhouse, and 25 for market. Does that sound okay with everyone?
Sounds fantastic.
Ogres.
Everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we locking it in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have 20 left over. Right?
All right, go ahead and drop that in the notes. What your purchases were for me.
Got it. Copy.
Yeah, I think we have 20 left over after that.
Sweet-do-do, cause it's almost time for movies time.
Oh, it costs that much money because it's 300, 400, 50, 30, yep. Did my math.
I see it. I like it. I want it. I got
And I like it like that.
Alright. So, I want a rundown of what a level 6 refinery does. So that I can put all those numbers into my head. I will let all of the math happen.
Current build of the Black Falls Spire. I like it like that.
I think we
So we
did.
have like bathrooms and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
no,
There's
no,
a
this is
tree
relevant.
over there.
No, I'm like,
There's a
you know,
tree.
if for instance I needed to have a like thorough wash down my body for whatever reason.
Well,
We had-
if
we
you
had the
look in
basic
front of
living.
us, you will see a lake. Of course, this is not the actual map, but
You know, I mean, just in case, you know, you don't want to contaminate the lake with something or other.
that's fair.
I'm just
All
asking.
right. I'm locking in. And yes, there are bathrooms. They have magic plumbing and everything.
Oh, magic
Ooh.
plumbing.
Okay, cool.
What on
Magic.
earth is plumbing?
Okay, so you've built a refinery, level 6 of quality, 10 for the planted tree, 10 for the causeway connection, 50 for the town hall, 50 for the soul font, 35 for a basic greenhouse, and 25 for a market. Is that correct, Arinos?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. The mana is conjured. The spire is summoned. Now,
Uh-huh.
that's the building phase. Now we have the third section of the sphere. And that is ideology. So, the sphere takes on the personality traits of Wimble, but even these things can be manipulated directly for whatever reason that you might see fit. First things first, what alignment would you like the spire to be? Keep in mind that whatever alignment the spire is will help determine what kind of company it will attract and unattract. Alignment is never a negative or positive thing. It is simply a twisting of fate. Which
All right.
alignment would you like the spire to be?
Well, just for starters, I am lawful neutral.
All
I
right,
think we all know what
Well,
Liv is.
build the Eye of
Mm.
Sauron. It's time to go complete lawful evil on everything.
I think we should just see what everyone's alignments are and kind of take the majority of that.
Well,
Theo
I think
is
Like a
fully-
child, right?
We're kind of split down the middle, I feel like.
Like,
In
are
that-
we
in that
giving
sense.
birth to a child?
I'm thinking.
Yes.
Are we not giving birth to a child?
Okay, so good and evil, I think we probably all settle on.
Okay,
Right?
neutral.
yeah, we're all neutral.
Neutral.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Neutral.
So in terms of order and chaos, is probably where we diverge.
Chaos.
Yes.
Tiny
I
bit.
want chaos.
Law.
Me,
I would
obviously.
say it's half and half chaos and lawful, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
we could be,
yeah.
we could be neutral. I'm okay with neutral.
True
I
neutral?
prefer, I
Yeah.
prefer lawful, but you know.
True neutral. What is true neutral again? What is
You just don't give a fuck, kind of.
True neutral is what you would call beige.
No, I mean like in terms of like if you were to describe someone who is true neutral.
A true
I
neutral
would call
character.
them beige.
A true neutral character would be someone who tends to themselves, does not judge others for the action that they are taken, and does not enforce the judgment on others based off the actions that they are taken. Their personal principles are held to a higher extent to guide themselves, but not so much that they are willing to sacrifice for it.
Lawful.
I don't know. Yeah.
Lawful.
From a player's perspective, I think lawful neutral is better.
Yeah.
We're
go
trying to
lawful
figure this
neutral.
out.
Lawful
go.
We're
neutral.
squeezing the rubber duck and seeing what alignment it spells out.
I have a feeling that me and Rry-on, we are kind of more chaotic neutral, but all the rest of the party is more lawful neutral.
I don't.
So maybe
I don't know about that.
maybe we're a little bit more lawful neutral than neutral, like in average.
Lawful leaning.
Lawful leaning, yeah.
Lawful leaning.
Leaning to the right.
Okay, lawful neutral it is.
I'm feeling lawful neutral. I think that's
Lawful neutral. That's
Lawful neutral, as you wish. All
Yes.
right, and now it's time to choose the next part of the ideology tree, and that is, whose team are you on? Are you on Team Taladoni?
Wildcat.
Are you on Team Ragdar? Are you on Team Leviathan? Are you on Team Hylas? Are you on Team Conflux? So on and so forth.
What are these teams?
Team Taladoni.
Raul's team
These are the-
Stone King. But
These are the major ideologies of Conflux that depict what style of governance that the Spire will enact.
I can't be like Team Rry-on.
And it's too meta, but I want to say Team Kraig Eaters.
My goodness.
No, I'm serious.
Oh, wait,
Jesus
we can,
Christ.
wait, just to clarify, we can team with Hylas?
Yeah, you can team with any of the
With
major-
Anebram.
Wait,
Anebram.
I want the mushroom team.
So
Ooh,
any
mushroom
any-
team.
So
Team mushroom.
any team that is not a part of the team that I have stated is a Conflux team.
Oh. Team
Conflux is the people of Conflux, basically.
Does that include the Stone King, or is
Yep.
he more Taladoni?
That includes the Stone
Oh.
King.
Poggers!
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
I'm Conflux. Me and Rry-on are Conflux.
I don't want
I
to do
am
Taladoni.
obviously.
Yeah, I don't want to do
So,
Taladoni.
so here's the thing about Taladoni, right? So we haven't had a chance to touch this out of RP wise, but like, so the thing is, I think Wimble's master, right, and Wimble himself, I think their ideology is more like bettering society through magic and science, right? Which I think is more true to what the actual Taladoni ideology is. But there's also a lot of corruption in Taladoni and different factions. And I think when you think of like the evil and all that other shit, that's what you're thinking of. But that's not really like what Wimble's focus is. You know what I mean? So like he represents the path that he wants to take represents like the more uncorrupt version of the Taladoni ideology.
Yeah, so I get the idea that you want to like fight the corruption from within.
Yeah, that's sort of the deal, because I mean, if you think about like the revelations he's had and shit, right? Like his master was like getting betrayed. There was corruption, right? He like never faltered, right? So from his perspective, like he wants to get rid of the corruption, and he's all about just like improving the world, I guess.
Arcadum, can you confirm if we go Team Taladoni, that's what's gonna happen?
Or is that a path we can take?
So all this does is it makes a public statement as to which of the major ideologies that you side with. That does not control how you act in any way. It's kind of like alignment. There's not really a negative or positive choice. It just determines who you will attract and who you will not attract. It should be noted that if you choose an ideology other than Conflux, you will also inherit enemies.
Yeah.
Conflux is the true neutral.
I vote for Conflux.
Yeah.
Yeah, Conflux kind of sounds like the best
Conflux,
idea.
basically.
So, I'll explain this one more time. Any ideology that you choose, you'll inherit enemies and allies both, obviously, and you'll be making a statement as to which side that you lean towards, and you'll attract certain individuals or events and unattract certain individuals and events. Conflux means that you're not affiliated with anything, essentially. So you have all of the absolute freedom, but none of the benefits or negatives.
Oh,
I think also you have to consider if we take the path of Taladoni, right? I mean, you kind of have all the benefits of that, right? The things that you guys have in terms of gold.
Like, I'll give you an example. How you wanted to be a part of the Taladoni teleportation network. Can't do that if you're not Taladoni.
Yeah.
As an example.
Dang.
You guys want to learn about the Stone King? They probably know about it, right? You guys want to establish,
By not choosing to be a part of an ideology, you give up any benefits as well as all the negatives that come with that as well. Although I should state that your freedom is not directly affecting like that.
Yeah, I mean, we can still make allies and whatnot. It just means we don't start with them.
Yeah, I mean, confluxes start from 0, essentially.
I'm still leaning towards Conflux, but I can concede the Taladon.
I see too much of the negative that comes out of the Taladoni, because we keep running into all the negative stuff, and the only thing we have is Wimble has the one piece that's good, and he's dead. He got killed by other Taladoni.
Be right back, water.
All right. Raul is really easy to convince, so he's probably going to say Taladoni if Wimble convinces him.
I think there's a lot of bad shit going on everywhere, and I think taking a side and like
I want Wimble to roll for it to Rry-on.
Wimble.
You want me to roll for it?
Yeah, if you
What do you
any character.
What do you want me to roll?
Roll. Let's go.
We'll play.
Right. Charisma roll. Where is it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've said my piece.
I'll do a save.
Oh, you mean persuasion checks?
Persuasion check. Let's go.
All right, persuasion here. I've said my piece. Here's my persuasion check. Do what you want.
Yeah, because I feel like considering fairness. Wow.
Join me.
Okay.
All right, I've been convinced. I'm convinced.
Taladoni, there's no question. Jesus Christ.
Word.
Join us.
Natural 20s when they are important all the time.
Yeah, you fucked up asking me to roll.
Wimble coming at us hot from left field with the nat 20. He did it again. We didn't even need to ask, because he was just like, "This is my nat 20
I
of the day.
honestly believe that if you consider everything that I've said, that I think this path suits everybody to some degree. I think there's a lot of confusion and a lot of things we don't know, right? And I just think this is like the
Bravo! He's so right. He's so right.
I agree with you.
What is happening?
Out of character, but I feel like
they asked me to roll a persuasion, and I did.
He nat 20.
Yeah, of course he did. But
Taladoni, they are so cool.
I certainly think that you've got good memories, but I don't know. In character, we've seen nothing but the worst that they have to offer, and the only thing that you said of value that you've seen is dead.
Yeah, I would say out of character, I've been convinced. But in character, I needed that role. If that makes sense, you know?
It is true. I will kill every Taladoni that would dare to harm Wimble and that would dare to create monstrositous plagues and stuff. But
Wimble also agrees. You have to realize, his master was betrayed. If you recall the revelation, right? The whole Iron Crime bit. I mean, it seems like he was framed, and there was just like all kinds of shit going on, right?
Oh, he's on the hit list, by the way.
So,
So Taladoni is what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Everybody
I have been outvoted. Shade.
You've been outrolled. Right?
I will admit, simply in the talking and all that, I was leaning more towards Taladoni, but man, that roll.
As you wish, Taladoni. Okay, and so
we can't do a session without a 20 from limit, okay? That's not how we do things here.
And so the third shard of the sphere joins its brothers. And now for the final shard. The final shard. And that is the power of the Spire flows through its masters.
Or is this level 4?
You have gained level 4.
My God.
Again.
Level 4.
And
I'm gonna cry
For the 8th time.
back in their tier.
And in addition to that, you gain access to Taladonic blessings for your level 4.
Oh, sick.
Blessings? Did you say the word blessings in
So-
front of a cleric?
So level 4 is just plus 1 or 2 abilities for increasing it.
We don't get access to those.
We don't get
Now
access
he's
to
got like custom things. That
No, there's
Oh,
custom things that you get to do.
yeah,
Oh, there's
much
so
cooler.
much.
I don't know. I have to go look at any tools and double check myself.
So I get to do is roll HP.
Alright. Time to
Okay.
do minimum roll, let's go.
We got all that taken care of, so the sphere is complete. And all right, the Spire is summoned. Congratulations, you have completed the campaign, The Wasting Way.
Oh!
Yeah. 2 down.
Wow, a normal conclusion. No fire,
And
no
now-
explosion.
Your new campaign begins.
Let's go.
Oh, yes. Welcome to the campaign, Ash and Sorrow.
Oh my
No
God.
more way!
Wait, why are we sad?
Everyone else is pretty
I mean, it
sad.
could be like Ash and Sorrow Lane.
It's
Sorrow
sorrow for our
Lane.
our enemies.
Sorrow Drive.
Sorrow. I'm sorrow,
Alright.
bro.
Oh,
I
hard
heard-
misery.
I'm so sorrow.
We're level 4.
We all heard it. We all heard it.
happened.
Yes.
We went from like Causeway to Wasted to Ash.
Bro, we've been everywhere.
Along the Causeway 3, the Return of the Jedi.
Wasting way too electric boogaloo.
Holy shit, it's shitting on my shit.
Rise from the ashes.
Okay, so
Like an Azure Phoenix.
here's what's
Bugger.
going on. Here's what's going on. Here's what's going on. Here's what's going on. Here's what's going on. As you've set up your Spire, it is time for you to get to experience random Spire events from the Causeway, as well as normal events as well, as time passes. So,
Monka.
hold on, I have some stuff I gotta get there. We built a town hall. So,
This is the moment where I'm staring at the screen while the gotcha animation plays.
Jesus Christ.
Rainbow, rainbow, rainbow.
Give me the sparkles.
Is this our please?
Circles, give me the circles.
Ah, yeah.
I brought all my catalysts.
all right, here we go. Let's see what happens. First up, we have to make a roll for the town hall, as it is currently seeking a mayor. Let's see which one you get. 9. Okay.
That's separate from the tin servant.
Yes.
Yes.
Just checking.
Going to notes. Going to people. Going to mayor.
We should probably make an entire page for our tower in town.
How? Listen, I'll get to it eventually. I'm just doing quick notes.
All right. Your first mayoral candidate.
Okay. Oh, first candidate.
Should we have a?
We're gonna have an
like a
election?
Bling, 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 bling.
Well,
Stars.
basically what happens is that as the weeks pass, individuals will come and visit the Spire, and you can choose to contact them to like recruit them or whatever.
All right, everyone, line up.
This
Make
one is
yourselves
specifically
official.
triggered by the town hall being empty. Basically, with each empty facility, you get extra rolls to like
Ooh.
fill them out.
Pity system.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, not really
Oh, and the
pity,
greenhouse too.
but anyway. Okay. Holy shit. Yes, dude. Okay.
Oh, he's
So what
excited.
if we
Okay.
make Jimmy mayor?
Okay, now I'm
Okay,
excited.
okay.
What does Jimmy want to be mayor? I have.
I want to hire Nara. Can we hire Nara?
Does
Can
Jimmy have
Nara
a,
play
does Jimmy have a nephew?
Nara, please. Maravi or Mayor.
Yo,
Jimmy has a nephew, right?
Yo, we need Jimmy's in the chat, bro. Any Jimmy's in the chat, bro. Jimmy chat. Jimmy chat. Jimmy chat. Sure.
All right, single file line. Let's look presentable for everyone.
All right, I don't have the maps for your court yet, obviously, but okay. We're just gonna do this in a field, I guess. Where the hell is this person's?
Like how Jimmy's in the center, like he's our leader or some shit.
Oh gosh! You want to buy a scroll?
Jimmy, get in the back, bro. What are you doing?
Any scroll enjoyers?
Get in the back, Jimmy.
Jimmy's the one who takes our picture.
Any?
What? No, Jimmy, you're not allowed to die again. I already saved you once.
Get the
Don't
fuck
get
in
ahead
the
of
back,
yourself,
bro. Alright, give me a second. Let me load this guy up.
I like how Rry-on's trying to block him when she's like the shortest person here.
Yeah.
I wonder if anagram is an option.
I don't think so.
You know,
I thought
if we
the
went
file
to
was the
Island,
other way. Is it?
if we went to
Anagram,
Island,
Anagram, you built this town. Would you like permanent succor and rest here?
you know, if we went to Eyeless, that might have been an option.
Yeah, probably.
Dude,
Actually,
how
it was.
crazy! If we just went like dinosaur region and picked Eyeless, like how crazy would
This would be a different vibe.
No.
I can tell you.
If we went to what's the name? Meteorite?
That's what I wanted. We went to the burden.
just completely out of nowhere.
Just
No.
eyeless.
We went to the
Hey,
meteorite.
what are they doing in that campaign? Riding dinosaurs with tentacles? Holy shit.
No eyes, bro. No eyes.
This vibe is very different than I was remembering. Bro, what if... You don't think they... Bro. Alright.
We could create Brazil in the burden.
And so the party is visited, or the Spire... Blackfall Spire is visited by an individual who is answering the call to become the mayor of the new town to be built. This individual approaches the Spire and gives you... he's in a little courtroom where you're all gathered around. And he gives you a distinct bow. And you guys see that the man is a Kaskari, wearing a nice outfit.
Ooh.
Hey.
He will give you a deep bow.
Feel the nod.
Enchanté, I want to see how you go, eh? Name is Mr. Bojangles. I have come to run you down.
I like this guy.
Can I vibe check
Yes.
him?
I approve of fellow animal.
It's very straightforward.
Do you have any history in such things?
Mr. Bojangles? No history needed. Took care of every single sibling he had. His mother, his father, all of them. Took great care of them, no worries, no problem. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Huge responsibility. Till everyone died.
That's as official as I can imagine.
He's perfect.
Care to explain what terrible events occurred?
Flux door?
Oh.
Mr. Bojangles, what do you do for a living?
Mr. Bojangles is in between jobs at the moment. That's why he is offering to run your town.
What was your last job?
Offer.
How long ago was it?
Last job, Mr. Bojangles was a barrister. Which
That
is
lawyer?
which is a medieval lawyer.
Why are you no
He's
longer
perfect.
employed as a barrister?
Mr. Bojangles got fired.
For what?
Yes.
Well, the Baron didn't like that Mr. Bojangles called out the Baron for all of his bullshit. Mr. Bojangles thought maybe he shouldn't have been sentencing the people to doing hard time for the crimes that he himself was doing. Mr. Bojangles pointed that shit out, and then the Baron was like, "Oh, Mr. Bojangles, you handsome devil that found out all of my befuddlery from his maximized intelligence and whom my daughter is sweet on, but I can't allow because I'm a racist bastard, said you are not welcome here anymore, Mr. Bojangles, with your ridiculous sense of style. Leave immediately or suffer the sword. Then I, Mr. Bojangles, shat on his doorstep and left.
Humble.
Can I insight?
Sure.
To see if he's like for real?
Yeah.
You real
He's keeping it as real as he can.
Your insight reveals that Mr. Bojangles believes his own hype. It is up to you as to whether or not you think that hype is legitimate.
Can I, with that insight, can I also see, like, does he seem like someone who, how do I say this? Would make off with the money in a sense. So obviously he
Okay, I can answer that.
believes himself.
Well, he was a lawyer, which means that he must at least respect the law to a certain degree.
Okay.
It's difficult to become a barrister. So,
Right.
you think that he respects the law, or at least has some sort of kinship with it.
Okay. Alright.
And nothing he has said so far has been deceitful, if perhaps braggarly.
Okay.
Well, I should point out, as I said, he believes his own hype. So,
Even the stuff about the family.
Yeah, he wasn't lying about that.
I think he is good for something. I'm not sure if it's for being a mayor.
We have an
good for being a
internship opening.
Well,
maybe he'd like to start there.
Mr. Bojangles can sense that you're not vibing. That's okay. Mr. Bojangles understands. If you need,
No, I have a question.
Yes.
As well. No, out of character.
Oh, no. Okay. What's up?
Do we need to, like, as we are looking at them, decide if we want them or
No.
not? Or
You can always contact
give us
them
your
later.
resume. Come back in 3 to 5 business days.
You can contact them later, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Although that won't be the case for all of them. Some of them might take insult that you don't accept them right away. But baseline, yeah, you can contact them again.
Okay. Do we want a discussion before we're like turn him away now and or
I think we have some other people coming to visit us. Maybe he can just sit on the side and wait for our discussion.
Yeah, we'll have all the round of interviews and then we can negotiate.
Mr. Bojangles, go ahead, sir.
I would like to ask a person with experience running towns and being in councils. What do you think about this, Mr. Jimmy? Does he seem fit as a mayor?
I don't really like the Cascari. They smell bad.
Jimmy's one of those, right? He's one of those racists he was talking about.
He's racist. Oh my god.
What? I don't think he's a bad guy. Just you not smell him?
His
smells fine to me.
We have paths.
Do we smell it?
A little bit.
It's fine to me.
Mr. Bojangles does not take any offense to the human's frail nose. Mr. Bojangles is proud of his natural Cascara musk.
Roll nuts.
And the ladies love it. He'll wink at Sinclair because he doesn't know what a female human is.
Sinclair, how do you feel about that?
I certainly appreciate a man of the law, but I would appreciate if you would keep your approaches to a minimum.
I think we
Sorry,
need
the
a
Sinclair
bit of
voice is
time.
very difficult.
Mr. Bojangles, I think we need a bit of time. We have a couple other interviews.
Mr. Bojangles understands. Please take all the time you need, Lords of the Spire. Can Mr. Bojangles request a small favor? Mr. Bojangles is currently homeless. Might I camp outside the Spire under a tree?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
All right,
I see
now.
no problem.
Hoo-wee! And he Cajuns his way up.
I like him. He's a family man. He respects the law.
Yes, I'm racist, so I like him.
What?
Oh, okay.
In the other direction. Against
Fellow
human.
animal.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
Hold on.
She's racist against herself.
Hold on a second.
Yes. It's called self-hate.
He smells
I just look like
bad.
humans.
Look, what do you think, Jimmy? Cascara smell bad. Whoa.
Whoa, Jimmy.
Whoa. It's like when you go on Facebook and you realize, my aunt's kind of racist.
Yeah.
Whoa, Jimmy, whoa. No,
Confederate flag posted.
I don't know about this anymore, bro. I don't think we can go to Aunt Linda's anymore, bro. I don't know.
So this is Wendy's?
Sir, this is a Wendy's. Alright, here we go. Alright, you got one more candidate for the mayor position. Let me generate his token.
Oh, just a small question. What are the expectations of a mayor, at least in this aspect?
So the mayor will run the town, and depending on who you put in the position of the mayor, will determine the alignment deterrence from. So it'll determine the alignment variance from the main alignment of the Spire. It'll determine who's attracted to the town, what crops and products the town might produce, all kinds of stuff like that. Essentially, the mayor is the litmus personality test of the town. If that makes any sense.
Give me some of them
So
kids.
if we have him, the whole town is going to be that kind of vibe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Everybody gonna treat themselves like family up in here.
Yeah. Yeah. So
La Familia.
La Familia. La Familia.
Ooh, La
That
Familia.
looks every Saturday night.
Oh, Jimmy will also inform you. I will say, though, those Cascari really know how to cook.
Oh gosh.
Ooh. Okay. We
Good
might
old
have a cook.
man.
A nice
He doesn't like the people, but he likes the food.
Oh, no. It's getting worse. Stop, Jimmy.
Auntie. Stop, Auntie, come on.
Stop, Auntie. Oh, no. All right. Here's the next guy. This man walks in nearly a complete opposite of the original individual. He is wearing a nice suit, has a cane, and a crow familiar. He smokes a cigarette, which he will take from his mouth and expunge in your presence and give a deep bow. Greetings and salutations to you, lords of the Spire. My name is Calanthos, the third in my line. I have heard that you are recently building a town, and I have come to offer my services.
I'm sorry, is he lighting a cigarette with another cigarette for a bird?
No, he's
it's a
currently
match.
not smoking at this time.
In the picture, it's a map.
But in the picture.
In the picture, it's a
the
match.
crow is holding the
The
match.
crow strikes a match and lights the cigarette. for
Oh,
the man.
I thought they were like mutually smoking. My bad.
The homies light them up. What?
I was gonna say that.
Wait, he's got a bird, though.
He does.
King Calanthos.
What the bird doing?
Could you tell me about yourself?
I come from a long line of statesmen. At least, from what I can remember. Such things have been hazy. But I have heard the call that your Spire is building a town and requires assistance of capable individuals. I believe myself to be such an individual. I have been trained since a young child to be a statesman. And indeed, although it will be my first time to deal with the responsibility, I believe I am most prepared. I have also traveled quite a bit of the Conflux as a younger man, and I have learned much of the different regions and the cultures therein. I believe that I will be useful in this endeavor.
You said your memory was hazy. Why is that?
it is strange. I woke up only 4 years hence, and I did not know who I was. In fact, if it wasn't for Ferdinand here, I think I would have lost myself completely.
What did Ferdinand do?
He spoke to me. He told me my name and guided me on my path.
Does he speak to others or just you?
I can speak.
Ah, you have a talking bird. Okay.
Wait, so are you trying to be mayor, or is Ferdinand trying to be mayor?
I intend to be the mayoral candidate. Ferdinand is simply my assistant.
Ferdinand,
Oh.
tell me about yourself, Ferdinand.
I am a familiar. I serve the Calanthos family. I like cheese.
I like cheese too. We have something in common.
How old are you, Ferdinand?
Classified.
Ferdinand, have you ever thought of rising up?
You
You
mean
know, against
flying?
the man.
I don't think it's gonna tell you if it's thought about rebellion next to its master.
Can I?
I'm just gonna tell
I
you.
don't think that's how familiars work.
I
Can
understand it.
I-
I guess they don't. Not all of them are confident like myself.
Well,
Mr. Calanthos, what can
surely,
you tell us?
surely that's the issue.
Look, family familiars are a very common thing. Nothing too much to think about. It is just a servant that knows much of its history and most likely does not wish to share it with strangers.
Mr. Calanthos, what can you tell us about the Calanthos family? In particular, Calanthos II and Calanthos I.
I know they were statesmen, far to the west, in the Azure. They served in many smaller baronies. My father taught me in preparation that I would assist the sovereign himself of Sarkosia directly. But alas, I woke up 4 years ago, and it seems that opportunity has passed.
If they're saying the Azure, do they seem to be looking at Fib more often? Or
No,
anything like that? No?
What if Fib spontaneously decides to fan herself, revealing the symbol on her fan?
Oh, I wonder who he knows. Starts fanning yourself with all these symbols.
Well,
He certainly seems to be a more competent pick.
this individual is clearly more qualified.
If I had
The
to
other
choose
one-
between a cat and a bird, I always choose bird, so I prefer Calanthos.
That makes it easy.
Yeah.
I would certainly not spur him earlier, but perhaps we could use his
You
talents
could be
elsewhere.
a chef instead.
I would certainly not be against
What,
that.
what exactly were his
All
talents?
Calanthos are good chefs, so
he
you know,
was
we
a
should
lawman.
make the Calanthos hero chef.
True.
He was a man of the law.
Are you speaking about me?
No, sir. Another candidate we had just previously met with.
I see. He'll look very awkward.
But you are certainly more qualified, at least as it stands.
He will still remain looking awkward.
Somehow
Is,
this
is there
this
something?
will-
Is there something troubling you, Mr. Calanthos?
Normally, in basic statesmanship, one does not discuss the qualities of the person
Yeah.
they are interviewing in front of them, nor especially the qualities of another candidate in front of them.
You would have to forgive us. This is a bit informal of a process.
I see.
Perhaps we'll refine
Should I
ourselves.
go while you discuss it?
Thanks for
Just, like,
coming.
being
Would
polite.
you like to
I-
go get some refreshments while we
Of course.
interview
I
other
thank you.
candidates?
He will give
Okay.
you a
I,
bow.
I will show
Alright.
him to the kitchen.
Bye,
and
Ferdinand.
open-
Bye, Ferdinand. Take care. What a
Okay,
cute bird.
now you guys can talk. You're
What
just
a nice
talking
bird,
about it
yeah.
right in front of them, bro.
I really like that bird.
I'm just gonna sit over here.
the guy managed to
Oh, we're all awkward because we made him
I
feel
like
awkward.
Ferdinand. I forgot the human's name, but I like Ferdinand.
Might have.
All right, so do we have any other candidates, or just those two?
They're just those two for the mayoral position.
Okay. Clearly that guy is better for us. I think.
I think
Yeah.
someone else should also do an insight check. Just in case.
Oh yeah,
He
I
seems
forgot about
fine.
that. Oops.
Insight what?
Just to
If
see
he-
if
if
he was
he's
telling the
fine.
truth, you know? Like, vibe check him.
Yep.
Maybe he has a history that he's not telling us about, which he's definitely not telling us about. Or
Well,
maybe the bird is like a demon.
Let me ask you
speaking
this.
sins into its ears. Like, I don't know.
Okay, I
Let me
am
ask
curious.
you
Who's
this.
in charge, the
Do any
bird or
of
the
you
human?
remember?
That's just the familiar. I mean,
Let,
You know.
let me ask. Do any of you remember how you got here?
Yeah, I ate a mushroom.
Bits
Wagon.
and pieces, yeah. Well,
I'd say he's similar to us in more ways than I could imagine.
well, that's the thing. We still have memories of who we were. The bird seems to have memories of who they are.
That is true.
We don't have many memories of who we are, but of who we were.
I think we could learn a lot from him and the bird.
Yes.
Yeah. Would be
The
really
bird is
interesting
a-
to know more about familiars. And the Calantos family seems important.
Yes. Quite a
I
history.
vote for yes.
All right. Anybody against that?
And the Cascari for the cook, maybe?
I think.
Well, he said he's homeless. We could just slot him into our tower.
True.
What kind of job can we do?
I mean, we
Cook.
can put
He
him
can
through some
cook.
tests, right? Test his cooking, test his like
Oh yeah.
repair, like technical repairman
Remember,
skills. I don't know.
He was a lawman. We could just keep him doing that.
Yes, he could be a bookkeeper. You know, that'd be a pretty good one.
Something like that, yeah.
Maybe. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
All right. So I guess we can bring back that guy, Calantos, and then appoint him. Do we have to talk to him further?
All right, so you send out word that you would like Calanthos to take the space of the mayor. You have gained one mayor. Upon hearing the news, Mr. Bojangles will gather up his homeless man sack and tie it to a stick, and he will continue on his way.
Wait, what? No, come back.
Call him back. Call him back. We want him.
Excuse me, Mr. Bojangles, sir.
Mr. Bojangles.
Could you come here for a moment?
I thought you chose the fancy pants.
That's correct.
I
However,
chose fancy pants because I
we've-
thought you would be better as a lawyer still.
Truly?
Yeah.
Or a cook. Do you know how to cook?
You let Mr. Bojangles
I
practice
like
the
Mr.
law?
Bojangles.
You would let him practice the law again?
Or an honest
You know,
man.
on top of some other responsibilities, but yes.
Oh, thank you so much. Mr. Bojangles will not let you down. All right, he will take his hobo stick and he will walk into the spire.
You're also not homeless
Waddle,
anymore.
waddle.
Okay, bye.
All right, Mr. Bojangles has become the spire's Justicar.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent. Oh my god, that's gonna be so sick. This man is performing a crime. Why don't you tell
You
Mr.
broke the law.
Bojangles why?
Oh, you broke the law. You're gonna pay.
I just realized he lives with Jimmy now.
Bro, there's gonna be some good Jimmy and Mr. Bojangles interactions. Can we bunk them together?
With respect, Judge.
In the same bed.
I want to put them in the same room.
We have a lawyer for a team of people who are half chaotic and do not listen to the law.
Yeah, I don't care about the law at all.
But sir, the lords of the spire break the law all the time. Yeah, well, they, you know.
They pay me, so, you know.
I just got my bonus.
Yeah, but that one shoots fire out of his
Like-
hands all the times, and I'm not going to tell him no.
It's like, wait, hold on a
I'm not gonna
second.
phone them.
We're not. Hang on, I'm going back. We're not telling people you're a cannibal.
Raul
Like
smiles.
We don't tell anyone. We show them.
engender freedom of identity, including diet.
Man, we almost made it through the whole meeting.
We almost made it, guys. Almost. Like 98%, bro.
So what's the next meeting?
Alright. So the next will be an official event. And we'll see if anything happens to the Spire.
Good things.
Things in general. And event roll. Nice.
Nice.
They're both in the 60s. Nothing can go
God,
wrong.
I sound like a kid going through puberty.
Oh. Hey. A band of refugees from the Ashen Wastes have found the Spire.
Hey!
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we were gonna go looking for them. That makes it easy.
All right.
Ex-plagued people?
These people are just normal refugees. They're fleeing. Let's see, what are they fleeing? They are fleeing. Oh, I have to roll that.
They are fleeing. Oh, I have to roll what they're fleeing.
They're fleeing cannibals.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It seems that a roving band of cannibals have attacked their homes, and so they have been on the run ever since. They heard about the Spire and sought to seek shelter. You have a choice. You can turn away the vagabonds, or you can accept them into your town.
I mean, except we gotta fill up the town.
Yes,
I
no
don't
slaves.
know.
I mean people.
I don't know if running away from cannibals towards a cannibal is the best idea for them.
I will simply
they don't-
stare at Fib very intensely.
They don't know.
Theo looming over Sinclair's hat and everything.
Maybe they know something about the clock puppet.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
should let them stay.
Maybe we could talk about the blood cult that you literally connected yourself to. You know?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes!
Yeah!
Yes!
I believe that's a yes thing?
Yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
I agree.
We gotta fill up the town.
Yeah, sure. We can always throw them out if they're used.
And hey, I was
Or-
gonna build a.
We're not throwing
Turn
out
them into
Mr.
meat.
We're not throwing out Mr.
Or
Bojangles.
if
We're
Fib
not
can eat
throwing
or
out the
something, I don't know.
refugees.
Yeah, or Fifth can eat some.
They're gonna get eaten either way, so.
Yeah, if they're not useful or anything, I have dessert.
Yeah, carry your weight.
Buggers!
That right there, that wasn't poggers.
Not for the refugees.
Where's the anti-pog?
The Gop.
Nah, that was pretty gop, bro.
Goppers.
All right, so next we have that was the official event roll. All right, so you have some tasks that you can put your Spire resources into. Let's see. You don't really have the appropriate staff, though. Okay. Well, now you guys get to decide if you would like to depart or stay.
I vote for staying.
Yeah, stay.
Yeah, stay for now, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so another week passes.
Can I propose something to Rry-on?
Sure.
Miss Rry-on, would you like to work for a week in the greenhouse? We can plant some vegetables, maybe.
You
grow
see
some
that
plants.
Rry-on is covered in dirt and way ahead of you already.
Okay. Can me and Rry-on focus for a week on the greenhouse?
Yeah, that's fine.
I would like to take Fib aside and be like, would you aid me in soul stuff?
Sure. That's according to my contract.
Little font.
I guess if we're doing stuff, Wimble's just gonna roam around the town, overlook things.
Well, As you roam around the town over the course of this week, you can see that it's mostly just the town hall and a tent city, as several of the vagabond refugees are just making makeshift shelters. It seems that Galanthos is doing his best as mayor to find those with useful trade skills and trying to set them up and to request funding from you in order to actually use those trade skills. It seems in the midst of it...
Sorry, keep going.
It seems that in the midst of it, Galanthos has found that a few of them are in fact woodworkers, and is tasking them with cutting down the nearby trees so that houses can be made for the people.
Is this where we make the town hall? Or have we already made the town? I thought the
town hall
was
is
like
made with mana. No. Well, the town hall is a building that's created by the mana, but the town is built up around the town hall slowly.
I guess one option, if we decide on it, is we could drop by. Was it Dead End or what was the
Oz End?
No, the town that Rry-on.
The Plague Town. Yeah.
Oh,
Verum.
true. Oh, true. Yeah, we could stop by there if we want to take a little venture out.
That would be like next week or something.
Yep, next week we can all go together because that's really interesting.
All right, well, let me roll the events for the second week that you guys stayed. So, let's find out. First, we'll roll for town updates. Oh.
Sweet Jesus.
See what we get.
My goodness.
It's getting lower. I don't know how.
No sparkles this time?
Oh shit, that's pretty sick.
Oh.
A group of
Alien invasion.
A group of injured, lost warriors approaches the Spire. They beseech the Lord of the Spire to give them employment or a job so that they are not forced to reduce themselves to banditry.
Oh, we can make the barracks then.
Who did they work for previously?
They do not know, as they are recently awoken.
I see.
Ooh, this is really interesting.
Can I see a mock battle and to see their skill?
They're injured.
There are a few of them that are healthy enough to display their skills. And now I get to roll which one of the lost warrior tribes you guys get. Let's see, I think there's D8.
Look, we can take pity on them, but I still need to know what they can do.
D8.
Okay, if that's the case, I would need to ask a few things. First,
Do we need to make the barracks?
Holy shit! Okay. As you ask them to demonstrate their skills, they will strip down on their shirts down to their waistbands, and you will see they are covered with intricate snake-like tattoos, and they will fight in hand to hand. As they fight, the tattoos awaken and strike out from their skin.
Oh.
Like 3D?
Correct.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so we're building that barracks now, right?
So
We'll take them.
The leader of the warriors, prostrates himself before the lords of the Spire and asks if you would accept his tribe.
We will do so. We will do so.
I'm bugging. I don't say a word. I'm just bugging.
We'll accept them, but currently we're still building.
They are okay with that.
Yeah, we need manpower right now, right? Not just a standing army. Question mark.
So yeah, I guess the question is, do we need to build barracks to keep these guys?
They will live as vagabonds until you have them. So the more vagabonds you have in the city, the less attractive it is to the rarer city folk. But the more you'll attract of the lower quality city folk.
Well, we got mana. We could always just make barracks. Right?
Sorry.
Yeah, we have two options. We can either put people to work on starting to build a barracks, or we can actually just mana barracks.
Well, if you're not
they're building houses right now.
If you're not paying for the mana, of the barracks, you have to pay the dust cost, which the dust
No,
cost.
my meaning was that they are like temporarily part of the town force that is trying to put together houses.
Yes, that's
right.
That's
oh yeah, true.
That's already presumed. So what I was saying is that the more vagabonds you have, the less attractive it is to the rarer townsfolk, but the more attractive it is to the lower townsfolk. And the base thing that vagabonds can do is that they can increase the efficiency of any job that's currently being done by one step, but they can't increase it any further, and they can't do specialty stuff.
Okay.
So the warriors are assisting with the tree chopping and house building because they don't have anything else to do. Also, they are called Venom Souls.
Sick.
And yes, they are all of them monks.
Okay.
Oh.
So if we're trying to get more high quality individuals, do we want to just make the barracks now with mana?
I vote for that.
I'm down for that. Yeah.
How much was that? 10 for a basic? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Down for that?
I think.
I like that.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good as standing. Do we also know how many people this is?
How many warriors?
Yes.
You have a squadron of Venom Souls, which is 20 men.
Okay. And how many can fit in a basic, like a tier 1?
50.
50? Okay.
Alright, I have updated the thing.
Okay, now we have 10 more. 10 more
right. As you conjure the barracks before their eyes and have given them purpose, the Venom Souls give out a cheer and immediately salute to the Lords of the Spire, and then go about equipping themselves and changing their banners from the Venom Souls to the sigil of the Black Falls Spire.
Wait, we have a sigil?
We're gonna make a sigil.
Well, yes, but you guys haven't made it yet, so.
Oh, we get to make it?
Yeah.
Yes, Eye of Sauron.
It's your sigil.
Crying black tears.
Instead of an eye, it can be the tree that we have at the top.
Ooh. Instead of a silver tree, it's a black tree?
No, a silver tree with black rain. Yes.
No, I mean,
you guys are dark, man. What?
I mean, like, imagine a black flag, but it has a white tree.
Look, it's a black
or a silver
ball.
tree on a black flag.
Well, true.
Yeah, a black flag, but a
tree
silver tree on a black flag.
Ooh, yes.
We can figure this out later.
Anyway,
what if it's just like a waterfall with Wimble jamming on top?
I mean,
not everything can be about Wimble.
You deserve a painting of that in your own private room, but no.
Alrighty. Well, that will conclude this session, it would seem.
Nice.
Right, yeah.
All right. So we should probably tell chat, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and after art. Okay.
Let's do after art.
Do the art.
It is time for art. Oh, say, can you slam? Wham, jam, ram, wow, wow, wow.
Why? I'm glad it has it.
Okay. Okay, I believe you. Rock your body in time. Walk in the line. Okay, so first up we have is this tower falling.
Ah, yes.
Nope.
Round 2, motherfucker. I'm coming for you.
I don't like that at all.
My mental map of Conflux at the new info.
I mean, that's kind of
Feel
true.
better, Sinclair. Okay.
What?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Interviews like, I know Word, I can open a document, save as, print preview.
Print review.
Oh my god, that guy at the bottom right is...
Yeah, what the...
He's just eating his own nose, dude. Alright,
Booger.
it looks like that's all the fan art.
Bunch
Yeah.
of meat.
Sad music.
Okay, so unfortunately, Luga has had something come up that is a private matter, but unfortunately, it will prevent her from being able to play D&D any longer.
Yeah.
So this session was Luga's last session, and Kit Kat has agreed to play out the campaign since we were at the end of the campaign. We'll be going with her. So it seems that Luga and Kit Kat will be departing the campaign.
Solidarity.
Friend through.
We're doing a fate.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah, but
going
I've
to
had
be
a
the
lot of
one
fun,
learning
so-
all the lore without her, you know? Can't do that.
We will have to say goodbye to the two of them. As
Oh,
for
wait.
yes,
Sorry, no, keep going. I'll just post my last art.
okay.
Since you won't be able to see it regardless.
I will say that the epilogue that I have prepared for them is that during the night, during one of these weeks, while people are building the Spire, Luga, or rather, Fib is beset by dreams of the Azure Phoenix, which fill her with an indescribable need to find out who she has become and perhaps who she might be. So as she leaves, she intended to escape, leaving behind a note explaining why she had to go and how much she has cared for everyone. But she is caught by Rry-on, who, already feeling a bit separated from the plague, decides to go with her, as no one should travel alone.
I'm going to pursue my plague
May I
dream.
share?
Let's
Wait,
go.
I can imagine what the message will say. It will say, "I'm having my midlife crisis, and I'd like to seek my identity. The kid's coming, even though I don't want her."
I'm making the kid.
My heart.
And there's Rry-on.
It hurts.
My heart hurts.
It burns us. It burns us.
It was a lot of fun. It really was.
Yeah, this is sad.
It was a pleasure to
Sad to see
have
you
you
go.
both.
I had
Maybe
so much
we'll
fun.
Winding road.
And we will
I was like, I'm
Don't
enjoying
know
this
when.
last session.
Don't know when.
we will miss you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for playing. And I hope everything works out. And I hope to still see you guys in the community and in chat when you can.
Yeah, if you need
Yeah,
us,
we're not leaving Discord. It's just-
and you know we have the time, we'll definitely come back if you need us too. But we can't do any like yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yes.
will
We
meet in
just can't do
Iowa.
any
There is, of course,
like
always...
permanent.
What's up?
We just can't do any like
Awa?
consistent permanent.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know. Yeah.
There's always Awa.
There's always
There's
Awa.
always
always
Nina.
have Awa.
Oh my
Nina
god.
is forever.
And there's Nina.
100.
Sweet Jesus.
Oh, well.
Oh shit, it's Nina. What's up?
What up, Nina? Anyway,
Nani? Nina.
I was just about to go thank all these subs. Let's see here.
I think it was a good 2 campaigns. We did a lot. You know, a
We
lot of
speedran.
bucket list items.
A lot.
Speed run,
Indeed.
a mini fireball. We got a crossover episode. You know, we unlocked our lore, kind of.
Hey, we had a kid. It's a daughter.
God, who's gonna eat all the townsfolk now?
You know, we had
know.
Sense Against Humanity, and
Okay, I have 30 human fingers in my pocket for snacks.
All right, let's see.
Road rash.
Yo Yosef, thanks for the God sub. Nina, thanks for the 5 gifted subs. What a cool person. Thanks for the 5 subs, Kraig, and Legend. Thanks for the 5 gifted subs. We're currently at Nina with another 5. Kind of throwing darts at me right now. Normally, I'm used to getting shot in the head. We're at 2,581 subs right now. And thank you for all those gifted subs, guys, because I was getting pretty worried about meeting the quotas I needed this month. So thank you for that.
Bullseyes.
And I'm really sad that you guys got to go, but I'm very grateful that you played with us.
Yeah,
I'm glad we got to
really-
finish out the session. It was really sucked to have this happen in the middle. It was bad timing, but also good timing.
Yeah, and also now I have to I have to replace you guys because there's only 4 lads now.
So, can we like make recommendations, or is it?
Well, let me see first who was the last alternate?
Was it Zahab?
Zahab was one. I was.
There were 3
else.
total.
Who are they?
Was there a third one?
I think Crunchy was one of them, wasn't he?
Was
Oh,
it Crunchy?
An anime boy icon.
hold on, let me go look.
Toilet bowl Harokokun.
No, I haven't.
The toilet bowl guy.
bound. Yeah.
The guy stuck on the toilet.
Toilet anime boy.
So
Rry-on,
one of them got into Spheres of Scions, the other one was the Hob, and the last guy, I don't remember his name. I think he's active late at night, so I don't usually see him that much.
Hold on, let me just go to the announcement page where I announced you guys. Let's see here.
Right, it would be there.
Rry-on,
Mm.
I make it. Did you plant any of the herbs that you have collected through the travels in the?
All right,
Let
here we
me see
go.
what's in
Along
my
the
greenhouse.
causeway, our alternates were Tengi, YolkBun, Crispy, Crunchy, and Zahab. So YolkBun,
Tengi.
Crispy, Crunchy, and Zahab are all in other games. So Tengi. So it's Tengi's first up. Are they still in here?
No.
And
I haven't seen him in a little bit.
Bro, Chad is funny.
What,
What,
Andy?
what if Nara is just one of the the leader of the monks, dude? Uncle Jimmy.
It looks like Tengi's still in there.
I would like to invite Chomp.
Well, I designed everything for 6 people, so we're still going to need another person. You said that you had suggestions?
Yeah. Maybe, Cape Fish. Or like Nara.
Honestly. Or Nara.
Swap out the bird for a fish.
Bird
Yeah.
for fish?
Bird
Fish for bird? Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Just, it's not
Uncle
a
Jimmy.
you have to, but
Uncle Jimmy is the crowd favorite.
putting some suggestions in.
Leader of the monks.
We are putting in our 2 cents. That doesn't mean it will happen, but hey.
Yeah, that would actually be a bit of an easy way to do it.
Here is the currency I have in my pocket. 2 dust.
She leaves 2
And
dust
some-
with a note.
Bones.
Broke.
So, Fernando, what I have in my pocket, I have a mystery herb, which I never looked to see what it was, but I took it from the same garden. The razor leaf. I have the silver apple still. And then I have some flux berries. I don't know if they're still good.
And you have spices too, right?
I also have spices. Yes.
Just
I have
everything in the greenhouse.
I have a bottle of red moss from the Conflux ship. I think that's everything.
If you can, just plant like all the things that you have there that can be planted, and just send the list to Arcadum so he knows what's in the
And I'll put a
greenhouse.
list in our notes, and you guys can deal with it.
All right, well,
okay.
this game might have to be on a week hiatus while I find new players and make the new map, and we're probably going to have to reschedule the time slot.
Hell yeah, another Spire. Let's go. Woo. I can't wait to make a Spire again.
40K roof.
I'm sure you could just, reuse some assets.
But anyway, thank you guys for all the gifted subs. Good to see you all back. I'm very grateful for all the support. And once again, big thank you to Luga and Kit. And it was a pleasure, guys.
Shall be
Thank
missed.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Hope to see you soon.
Alrighty, well, I guess I'll shut down this stream. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a fantastic evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Farewell.